Rain pattered constantly on the metal roof of Emma Hayes's humble farmhouse, its beat interrupted by sporadic thunder rumble through the valley. The late afternoon tempest had swept in abruptly, making the muddy lanes of Riversbend into slippery, hazardous trails. Emma gazed from her kitchen window, observing the deluge shape her garden into a shimmering scene of drooping stalks and swaying blossoms. At 32, Emma had found solace in this quiet ranching town after abandoning her stressful nursing career in Denver 3 years prior. Her grandmother's farmhouse, bequeathed to her after Grand's death, had become both refuge and mission. The modest herb patch she'd begun to honor her grandmother's legacy had steadily grown into a flourishing enterprise, providing natural cures to townsfolk who favored her potions and ointments over costly drugs at the town's soul pharmacy. The faint hum of an engine faltering drew Emma from her reverie. Through the rain-streaked glass, she glimpsed headlights flickering up her winding driveway, the vehicle swerving oddly. She snatched Heron coat from its peg by the door and stepped onto the sheltered porch just as an aging pickup truck jolted to a halt. The driver's door swung open, and a manhole collapsed onto the soggy earth. "Hey!" Emma shouted, hurrying down the steps despite the downpour. "Are you all right?" The man struggled to rise, one hand clutched against his side. Even stupid in agony, she could see he was tall, broad-shouldered beneath a now-drenched head-plaid shirt with torn-off sleeves. His dark hair clung to his brow, partly hiding his face. "Sorry to bother you, ma'am," he gasped, his voice strained with pain. "Got into a spat with a bull at the Wilson place. Think I might have busted some ribs." Emma slid her shoulder under his arm. "Let's get you indoors." "I'm a nurse." Was a nurse. "I can help." Together, they shuffled slowly to the porch, the man leaning heavily on her. Once under the roof's cover, Emma got a clear view of him, rugged features, several-day stubble, and eyes shadowed with pain. Anasty cut traced his hairline, blood mingling with rainwater to streak his collar. "I'm Emma Hayes," she said, easing him to sit against the house wall. "Jack," he gritted out. "Jack Thornton, new hand at the Wilson Jack Thornton Ranch." Emma crouched beside him, gently lifting his hand from his side. His shirt was ripped, exposing a raw red patch already purpling into a striking bruise. "What happened exactly?" Jack flinched as carefully felt his ribs. "Knew Thatbull didn't like me mending his fence. Took offense. Made his point plain." Despite his clear discomfort, a trace of wit in his tone made Emma smile. "Well, I think he left you with a couple of cracked ribs for your trouble. That gash on your head needs tending too. Let's get you inside." "Don't want to intrude," Jack protested feebly. But Emma was already helping him up. "It's no intrusion. Dr. Miller's offishing until Monday, and Riversbend Memorial is an hour away on roads that look like streams now. You need those ribs bandaged and that cut clean properly." Inside, Emma settled Jack on her worn but cozy sofa and gathered her tools, clean cloths, her medical kit, and the herbal balm she crafted for bruising as she worked, cleaning the wound on his forehead and carefully binding his ribs. She found herself observing him. His hands were rough, nails trimmed but worn working hands. His jeans were faded but sturdy, his boots well used but clearly high quality. "You said you're new to the Wilson place?" she asked, fastening the bandage around his chest. Jack nodded, then grimaced at the motion. "Started last week." "Needed a break from." A shadow flitted across his face. "City life, corporate grind, nothing worth mentioning." Emma knew that tone. She dusted when locals asked why a skilled nurse had left her profession to tend herbs and brew remedies in her grandmother's old home. She didn't pry. "Well, those ribs need time to mend. No eating or lifting for at least a week, and you've got a mild concussion from that head injury, so someone should watch you tonight." Jack began to object, but Emma raised a hand. "The storm's worsening. My guest room's ready, and you've got soup simmering." You're staying, at least for dinner tonight." To her surprise, he relented with a further fight, a sign of how much was hurting. As the evening unfolded and the storm eased into steady rain, they shared a humble meal of vegetable soup and fresh-baked bread. Jack ate it cautiously, each motion, careful to lessen pain, but his gratitude for the meal was clear. "Best food I've tasted since serving in Riversbend," he said, accepting another bowl. "The diner in town isn't famed for its kitchen skills," Emma chuckled. "Marge does. Herbist, but cooking's not her calling. Thetown keeps the place going because we need a spot to meet and chat." "What's latest chatter?" Jack asked, easing back gently against the sofa cushions. Emma handed him a mug of tea laced with willow bark and valerian. "Drink this, it'll ease the pain and help you rest." She pondered his question as she sipped her own tea. Well, the hospitals always stop talk. Riversbend Memorial terribly understaffed, and for months there's been buzz about some secret investor who's meant to rescue it. Jack's face shifted slightly. "What's wrong with the hospital?" "Small town, scarce funds," Emma explained. "It's been struggling for years. We lost 3 doctors in the past 2 years to higher-paying city jobs. The building needs modernizing. About 6 months ago, whispers started that someone bought it privately and planned big upgrades and staff growth, but nothing's happened yet. Most think it was just hopeful dreams." Jack nodded pensively, but said nothing. As the night deepened, his eyes grew weavy, the tea's pain relief taking effect. She guided him to the guest room, leaving extra pillows to prop his injured side. "Call if you need anything," she said from the doorway. "I sleep lightly." "Thanks," Jack murmured, his voice rough with exhaustion. "Not everyone would welcome a stranger these days." Emma smiled. "In Riversbend, we still believe in aiding neighbors. Rest well, Jack." The next morning broke clear and vibrant, the storm having cleansed everything. Emma rose early, inspecting her garden before making breakfast. She was surprised to find Jack already up, moving slow but steadily in the kitchen, coffee brewing on the Wilson Ranch stove. "You should be resting," she scolded, though she took the mug he carefully offered. "Can't sleep past dawn," he explained. "Farmer's habit. Besides, coffee's about all I can manage, you know." Over the next few days, a routine formed. Jack's truck stayed parked in her driveway, the roads still too muddy for safe travel. He phoned the Wilson Ranch and Emma's landline. Explaining his plight. To Emma's surprise, Mr. Wilson seemed more worried about Jack's health than his absence from work. "Take the time you need," she overheard Wilson say. "That job's not going anywhere." Jack spent his days on Emma's porch, shifting his chair to follow the sun, sometimes helping with light tasks that didn't tax his healing ribs. Emma found herself enjoying his presence, his wry humor, his curious questions about her herb garden, the way he listened closely when she described the qualities of different plants. On the 4th day, as a mare placed the dressing on his head wound, she noticed him watching her work with keen interest. "You're skilled at this," he remarked. "Why'd you quit nursing?" Emma's hands paused briefly before zooming. "I was an ER nurse in Denver. Loved the job but loathed the system. Too many people slipping through gaps. Too many choices driven by insurance, not care." She fastened the new bandage before meeting his gaze. "The breaking point was losing a patient, a young girl, because the specialist we needed was at another hospital and wouldn't come without insurance pre-approval. By the time it came, it was too late." Jack's face darkened. "I'm sorry. After that, I couldn't keep going. My grandmother had just passed, leaving me this place. I came for what I thought would be a few weeks and found peace a different way to help people." Jack nodded slowly. "Your remedies work better than half the drugs you've tried." Emma smiled. "Don't let Miller hear that. He puts up with me or witch status because his waiting room would be even fuller without me." On the morning of the 5th day, Jack's phone rang, the first call he'd gotten since arriving. Emma was in the garden, but could see him through the window, Histon suddenly stiff, his replies brief and formal. When he returned to Thepperch, something had shifted. "Everything okay?" she asked, setting down her basket of fresh-picked lavender. "I need to head back." "To town," he said, his face hard to red. "Some matters came up." Emma felt a twinge of regret but nodded. "Your ribs still need time, but the road should be clear now. Let me check your head one summer before you go, Jackson Thornton Jack." As she peeled off the bandage, her fingers gentle against his temple, Jack caught her hand. "Emma, I haven't been fully truthful with you." She froze, her pulse quickening. "About what?" "I'm not just a ranch hand." He took a deep breath, wincing slightly at the stretch off his ribs. "My full name's Jackson Thornton. I own Thornton Healthcare Group." The name clicked instantly. Thornton Healthcare ran dozens of hospitals across 3 states. Emma stepped back, her brow furrowing in confusion. "I don't get it." "I'm the squid investor who bought Riversbend Memorial," he explained. "I came to town to see it myself, to grasp what the community needed before finalizing granation. Plans. I wanted to know Riversbend as a local, not as the boss." Emma sank into the porch chair, processing this. "So the ranch job? It's real," Jack assured her. "I grew up on a ranch before building my company. When I'm assessing a new hospital buy in a rural area, I try to blend into the community first. Wilson's my cousin. He helps me keep my cover." "Why tell me now?" Jack ran a hand through his hair, mindful of healing cut. "That call was from my project manager. Architects and medical equipment suppliers are coming tomorrow to tour the hospital. I can't show up in borrowed clothes looking like I tangled with a fence post." Despite her shock, Emma laughed. "No, that wouldn't inspire trust." Jack's face grew earnest. "Emma, spending these days with you, it's the most genuine connection I've had in years. People act differently when they know you're wealthy." He paused. "The hospital needs a director of complementary medicine, someone who knows both standard healthcare and alternative methods. Someone who cares about healing patients, not just processing them." Emma stared at him, realization dawning. "Are you offering me a job?" "I'm offering you a chance to blend both worlds. Your remedies, your healing approach, it's what modern medicine often lacks. Help me build something new here." Emma gazed over her garden, the plants she'd tended swaying softly in the breeze. "I left nursing because the system was flawed." "Then help me mend it," Jack said simply. "At least in this one small corner of fueled." That evening, they sat together in Emma's porch, watching the sunset color the western sky in hues of golden rose. Jack's truck was packed, ready for his return to town the next morning. Between them on the small table lay sketches Jack's vision for the hospital, Emma's ideas for an integrated wellness center, their handwriting blending on the pages. "It won't be simple," Emma said, voicing the doubts still lingering. "Change never is." Jack's hand found hers, warm and firm. "But nothing worthwhile ever is." As night fell over the valley and the first stars emerged, Emma felt something new stir in her chest, not just the cautious start of feelings for the man beside her, but something she'd lost in that Denver emergency room years ago. Hope,